Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing an ABC deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely consistent deck that you can make all sorts of really awesome boss monsters with. I've included some really amazing engines in this build, so without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in a single video, getting a signed card sent in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of a Assault Core. This card is an extremely powerful 3-of that we're going to use to make our copy of our ABC Dragon Buster. And this card has a great effect that a monster equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, which is a really insane effect. And it also has the ability, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, then you can add one other Union monster from your graveyard to your hand. And all of our ABC pieces actually share a common effect that once per turn, you can either target one light monster that you control and equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon this card, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of B-Buster Drake. B-Buster Drake is really cool because when this card is equipped to a monster, it's unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. And it also has the ability, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Union monster from your deck to your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect. We then play 3 copies of Sea Crush Wyvern. Sea Crush Wyvern is really good as a 3-of as well to be able to help make your copy of your Dragon Buster. But a monster equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's trap effects, and if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon a Union monster from your hand, which is a pretty good effect. We then play a single copy of Union Driver. Union Driver is just an awesome combo piece in the deck, but you really only need a single copy of this card. We then play 2 copies of Therion King Regulus. This card is insane in this deck, and I absolutely love this card. It has a great effect that you can only use the following effects this card once per turn, that you can target a Therion monster or a machine monster in your graveyard and special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, equip that monster to this card, which is a great effect. And this card is also a walking negate, which is just such a powerful effect to be able to use, especially since all of our ABC pieces are machine monsters. We then play 2 copies of Destrudo. Destrudo is a definite 2-of in the deck to help you make your copy of Ancient Fairy Dragon, because we play a couple of different field spells in this particular deck, so this card comes in really handy in this particular build. We then play 3 copies of Water Enchantress of the Temple. The adventure package just works extremely well in this particular deck, and I absolutely love this card to help you get to your copy of Rite of Arameser. We then play a single copy of Wandering Griffin Rider. Wandering Griffin Rider is really good in this particular deck to be able to use with your copy of Fateful Adventure, and it's a fantastic card to put on your side of the field because it's a walking negate. We really don't use our normal summons effects in this particular build, so this card comes in extremely handy in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a fantastic hand trap and just stops your opponent from touching the deck, and it's a really good card this format. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Terraforming. We have a bunch of different field spells you can actually use in this particular build, so this card can search a bunch of different cards in the deck. We then play a single copy of Set Rotation. Set Rotation is really good in this particular build because it gives your opponent a field spell, but also works as a second copy of Terraforming for us to get to the exact field spell that we want. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is great in the deck because you can get the exact ABC piece that you need in the graveyard, or even send cards like Destrudo from your deck to the grave so you can use their effects to help you go for copies of Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is really good. This card is fantastic in the deck. We then play a single copy of Fateful Adventure. Fateful Adventure is great to put on your side of the field off your copy of Rite of Arameser, and this card helps you get to your copy of your Draco back and your copy of Wandering Griffin Rider, which is great in this build. We then play a single copy of Dracoback. Dracoback is great to be able to work with your adventure token to be able to give you a bounce on the field. We then play a single copy of Therion Discoliseum. Therion Discoliseum is great as a 1-of in this particular build because when this card is activated, you can add a Therion monster from your deck to your hand, which is a super good effect to be able to search out your copy of your King Regulus off this card's effect. I love that about this card. And you can also use this card with set rotation to give it to your opponent, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Dragon's Ravine. Dragon's Ravine is really good to work in this deck as well because it helps you get your copy of Destrudo in the graveyard, because once per turn you can discard a card to activate one of these effects to be able to send a dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is always going to be your copy of Destrudo, so you can make your Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is just super good in this build. We then play 3 copies of Union Hanger. Union Hanger is a really insane 3-of in the deck. It has the ability that when this card is activated, you add a Light Machine Union monster from your deck to your hand, which is any of your ABC pieces. It also has the ability once per turn, if a Light Machine Union monster is normal or special summoned to your side of the field, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and equip one appropriate Light Machine Union monster with a different name from your deck to that monster, but the Union monster equipped cannot special summon itself this turn, which is a really insane effect to help you get more ABC pieces. We then play 3 copies of Rite of Arameser. Rite of Arameser is a definite 3-of in this particular build with the adventure package in this deck, because this card is really good at giving you an adventure token on your side of the field while also putting your copy of Fateful Adventure on the field. This card helps out a lot in the deck to give you more consistency while also giving you a negate on the field with your copy of Wandering Griffin Rider after you get Fateful Adventure. We then play 3 copies of Unauthorized Reactivation. Unauthorized Reactivation is just super good in this build because it lets you target a machine monster you control and equip one appropriate Machine Union monster from your hand or deck to that monster, but the Union monster equipped cannot be special summoned this turn, but that's totally fine because this card basically gives you a free ABC piece to help you summon out your copy of ABC Dragon Buster. This card is insanely powerful in this deck. So that's it for these spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is a definite 3-of in the deck, just to be able to stop your opponent's monster effects and also being able to set this card to your side of the field to lock down entire columns, which is really cool for spells and traps. I love this card in the deck, and it's just a really awesome card overall. It helps out a lot in this deck to back up your copies of Ash Blossom to make sure you have the exact hand trap you need when you need it. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of ABC Dragon Buster. ABC Dragon Buster is an insanely powerful boss monster. It must first be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing all 3 of the ABC pieces, which is super easy to do from your side of the field or your graveyard, which is just an extremely powerful effect to be able to just summon this card by banishing the materials from the grave. I love that about this card. And also has the ability once per turn, during either player's turn, you can discard a card and then target one card on the field and banish it, which is just a really insane effect to give you spot removal. And during your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card and then target 3 of your banished Light Machine monsters that are Union monsters with different names and special summon them, and this is a quick effect, which is really good to be able to tag this card out and put all 3 of your ABC pieces back on the field. We then play a single copy of Ancient Fairy Dragon. This card is really good to work with all of the different field spells that we're playing in the deck. It makes it super easy to get to your copy of Union Hanger or tag out your copy of Union Hanger to get the exact card that you need. I love that about this card, and it's just super good in this deck. It helps out the deck so much that this card is finally back, even though it's a once per turn. We then play a single copy of FA Dawn Dragster. Dawn Dragster is a spell trap negate, which makes it super easy to summon this card with your copy of Destrudo. We then play a single copy of Spriggan's Merrymaker. Merrymaker is really good in this deck because you just have to put 2 level 4s on your side of the field to make this card, and then you make a copy of the Gigantic Champion Sargus on top of it, which is the main reason you're actually playing Merrymaker in the deck. And Gigantic Champion Sargus has an insane effect that once per turn you can also Xyz summon this card by using one Spriggan's Xyz monster that you control, kind of like a copy of Utopia the Lightning, which is really insane. And it also has the ability that you can while this card has a material, you can add one Spriggans or Therion card from your deck to your hand, which is a insane once per turn effect to be able to use with this card to immediately get to your copy of your King Regulus, which is a walking negate to back up this card. I love that about this card, and it makes it super easy in this deck to be able to get the exact boss monster you need on the field to give you a walking negate. We then play a single copy of AA Zeus, because once you attack with your copy of your gigantic champion Sargus, you can make AA Zeus just to give you a really powerful monster on your side of the field to board wipe the field. We then play a single copy of Underworld Goddess. Underworld Goddess is insanely easy to put on your side of the field, because once you tag out your copy of your ABC Dragon Buster, or you have an IP Masquerena on the field, it's going to give you 4 monsters on the field. You can use IP Masquerena's effect to be able to go into Underworld Goddess by using your 3 ABC pieces, including the copy of IP Masquerena, and one opponent's monster to make your copy of Underworld Goddess, making this card super easy to make in this deck. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code is just really good in just about any deck to be able to pop multiple cards on the field, and it comes out absolutely massive, usually at 5,300. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, one copy of Nightmare Phoenix to pop spells and traps, one copy of Platinum Gadget. This card just works extremely well in the deck and helps you put your ABC pieces on the field, because during your main phase, you can special summon one level 4 or lower machine monster from your hand to the zone this card points to, which is a really good effect. We then play a single copy of Barricade Borg Blocker. This card is really good at working with your field spells, and it's just insane in this deck. And then finally, a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP is really good with your copy of Underworld Goddess. You can also make Nightmare Unicorn during the opponent's turn, and this card is just insane in the deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played ABC before, you definitely should give this deck a try. It's really insane, all the fields that you can make with this deck, and it's just a really cool deck overall. It's extremely consistent and really fun to play. So, anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.